Yo, what is up guys? So the new Overwatch hero got announced and it's a new support named Moira. If you guys want to check out the video without my commentary, I'm going to leave that also down below in the description box, but I figure I go ahead and go over the short little clip. It's only like a minute long, but I want to give you guys my thoughts and impressions on the new hero because I know a lot of you guys will be, asking that on the live stream, so I can just link you this video. But I'm going to be going over all of the stats and all of my thoughts and other heroes that I think that would work well with the new Overwatch hero. But anyways, let's go and watch it. Like I said, it's only like a minute long, and I'll leave it down below if you guys want to watch it on your own. But this is just the official Blizzard post. I will be talking over it because I need to talk a little bit about what are my thoughts on, of course, the hero. But I'm just gonna let the video kind of just play out. That way you guys can see exactly what the heck she does, and it's pretty interesting. I gotta say, pretty unique abilities in her kit. So, real quick, that's not actually a blink, it's actually a dash, so you're actually still moving, just as a heads up.
I will unmake you. Simple geometry.
Lights out.
Surrender to my will.
So we got Goku over here. Pretty cool. We're seeing some Dragon Ball Z style moves in the game. So that is her ultimate. It can heal and it can do damage. It doesn't do that much damage though. I will be going over again more of that stuff. So that's basically the teaser for the new character, and here's another close-up of the character. But anyways, I kind of want to go over a little bit more on the character and give you guys my thoughts and impressions on here. But first off, let's go ahead and jump into her kit. The first thing I wanted to go over is she is a support and she does damage plus she heals, but the damage is very, very minor. Obviously in the cinematic they make her look very strong, which every company would want to do in their cinematic for a new hero that gets announced. So the first thing I wanted to go over was that she does have a bar kind of similar to D.Va. I'm going to be linking a video down below. I've been watching a lot of footage on this all day, but anyways, obviously the gameplay that you guys kind of saw versus real gameplay, I should say, the cinematic introduction gameplay. They will always make the character look super OP and the character really, really good in those cinematics, but in a real game scenario, it's usually a little bit less powerful. But like I said, I'll be linking this video down below. It has Moon, and basically it's showing off the hero, and they're talking about it, which I will link down below. I don't want to just use the other guy's content, but I will link it down below if you guys want to see a real gameplay from her. So as far as how she works, she has a left click and a right click. The left click is a heal similar to D.Va's defense matrix in that it has a resource meter that can actually deplete. Now how you actually charge the resource is actually a little bit different. Now it does regenerate over time, but you can regenerate it much faster by actually using the right click, which actually drains health from the enemy. So that's a way where you can heal yourself as well as deal damage to the enemy, and the damage is very minor. It's apparently less than Winston's main attack on his gun. But yeah, so the range is pretty big though. Apparently it's kind of like Symmetra's beam, although it's longer, it doesn't stick as hard, so meaning it's not as easy to aim. So basically it's got extended range, but the damage is a little bit less than Winston's coil. Now, as far as the ultimate, when you guys watched it during the cinematic, it looked like she just one-shotted things. There's a section in the video, and I have the timestamp over there, where someone is using Moira, and she's actually using the ultimate against another Moira, which is just using her right-click to suck the life. It's basically like Symmetra beam, but it does less damage. It has longer range, but it also heals you and it generates your resource, as you guys can see in this screen over here that I kept. It doesn't melt people in one shot. It showed a Bastion and Genji, and it showed her just one-shotting them. And again, that is just how she works. It doesn't do that much damage, but it does damage and it does heal. Now, as far as her orb that you guys saw where it was able to bounce, that biotic orb is something that you can choose. It's on a 10-second cooldown, and it can either be a healing orb that shoots out and it heals stuff as it like shoots out, or it does damage, as you guys saw. I'm not sure if there's a limit. Apparently it was 2, although I cannot confirm that. I really want to get my hands on and test out the hero. But that's the biotic orb. This is on a 10-second cooldown. Important thing on the biotic orb though is that it can be reflected by Genji, and also D.Va can absorb the biotic orb. So that can be a huge thing, because that's like one of the main parts of her kit. Otherwise, you're going to be needing to get super close up. Now, in the official website, it says that she quickly teleports a short distance. That's actually incorrect. It's more so like Sombra, where you would cloak and you were able to move very fast. So basically, it's a very fast dash. So you are technically still moving, so it's not a blink. Obviously, with blinks, you can dodge a lot more mechanics in the game. So I'm not sure if, let's say McCree ults and you dash, if he shoots, I'm not sure what exactly would happen, because it would be off screen, but it already has it. So there's a lot of things that I'll have to wait and test myself in the PTR once it does actually launch. So now that I went over her basic kit, another important thing with Fade, it's on a 6-second cooldown. Keep in mind that these integers can change because the hero is very new. This is probably going to be a hero that gets a lot of changes to a lot of different things, because that's just the nature of introducing a hero into the game. You cannot go up, so it's not omnidirectional. It's not like Lawbreakers where you can actually just go upwards. But yeah, it's basically, think of it like Tracer Dash in a sense. Although in this cinematic, it does show her dash downwards, whereas Tracer, when she blinks, she would still stay up on that same plane. If that makes sense, technically you can go a little bit higher to an extent with Tracer, but that's another thing. But anyways, I kind of want to go over where I would put her as far as where she would fit into the game, as far as what heroes would see more or less play. This is just my early impressions. Keep in mind, this is not a set in stone, because I know a lot of you guys will ask, what are my thoughts on the character, and I want to get my hands on it before I make too early of a decision, because a lot of times integers get changed, because at one point in Ana's build, she could actually, headshots actually did different things, but again, keep in mind that things are subject to change. Now, this isn't my tier list, okay? I know it says it's a tier list maker for Overwatch, but I wanted to kind of give you guys my thoughts on what characters or what heroes would work really well with Moira in the game. Now, obviously, Mercy is on her own tier level. If you watch majority of competitive Overwatch games, keep in mind I play at a master's level, so some of these things could be not applied to some of the lower ranks in the game, but I feel like Mercy is just kind of a must pick, and I still feel like a lot of players still feel like Mercy is in that role, so I put her in her own category. You're just going to have Mercy. I know Ana is getting a buff, but I'll talk about that in a second. I kind of want to go over each hero. I think that she definitely supports a more dive-oriented role, or more of an aggressive role with her orb that she can throw out, whether it's healing or dealing damage. I think one thing that can be pretty good, again, is to actually dive with her. I feel like these heroes will see more play. Like I said, Mercy's in her own tier category that you basically need Mercy majority of times in games, unless you're trying to cheese or do awkward things. But for the most part, even though Mercy is getting nerfed, I feel like, again, she's in her own category. I feel like, again, dive would be very strong with her. The reason why is because if people are posted up, the orb does go through Reinhardt shields, or just shields in general. So what you would do is you would throw the orb where their team is kind of posted up, and then you would dive things with Winston, Genji, and I'm not sure how much damage, again, all these integers do at the moment. But it's just a small amount of damage over there that would hit multiple targets. Genji dashes would be even greater, just because you have more potential for resets. I felt like D.Va would be really strong, simply because eating the orb is just huge, because that's a huge part of her kit. Otherwise, she has to get kind of close, I would say. I know she does have the ability to dash away, but I don't think she's going to be able to combat other DPS, because the damage, again, is lower than Winston's coil. I know she is getting healed, but if you're playing at a level of Diamond or higher, most people will be able to obviously out DPS her right click, which is the way that she is able to deal damage and heal herself up. I feel like Reinhardt would work kind of well in this. Again, it supports what I would consider a more aggressive playstyle, because if you just go ahead and throw the orb out there where their team is, and Reinhardt just walks in and just swings his hammer, and again, if you have this role where you're going to be more aggressive, I just think it supports like a really aggressive playstyle, which can definitely work really well with this. In addition to that, I feel like Zarya would work well with her because her ultimate, it goes as a beam, and it can hit multiple targets. It can hit your targets and the opponent's targets. So it would work well against and with Zarya, because if Zarya sucks in, you know, your team, you can just throw the beam down. You're healing your entire team at that point. And also, if you have a Zarya and she sucks everyone in, and you're ulting as Moira, you would then be able to hit everyone. So it's pretty self-explanatory for that. So I think that these characters, again, these are characters that I think that would work well with it, or would see more play because of it. Reinhardt is a little bit like in that weird area. I feel like maybe I would put him in like the minor or no change, but I definitely feel like Moira really supports a more aggressive playstyle, which you can do as Reinhardt. You can just walk and swing your hammer, and that would definitely support it. And I also feel like Junkrat would work relatively well against Moira, because Moira kind of needs to get close, and Junkrat can just spam really, really hard at certain choke points. And I feel like if she's using her, they call it, what do they call it? The fade. She can like get into a trap, and also because it's not an actual blink, it's like a dash, she can walk into like a mine, and you know, obviously she would get pranked. But I think Junkrat would work pretty well against a team that has her, but it's kind of a minor thing. But I think that I could almost put this in this category too, but some of them I kind of felt like were like right on the edge of that. Again, since I would consider it to support more of a dive play style, a Tracer obviously works pretty well with dive because she can get right in there. And again, if you're throwing like either the healing orb or the damage orb, when your teammates are super far out there, that can definitely help out with the NG and Tracer just in general as far as like DPS goes. Now, as far as these other heroes, I feel like they will see like minor or very limited or no change. Like there's really no change with certain heroes that would interact with Moira much better. Keep in mind, this is like in my personal opinion. Obviously, you guys can make your own opinion on this, but I know this was a question that would be asked during my live stream. You know, what are my thoughts on the new hero? Like as far as like McCree goes, like yeah, if Moira uses her fade ability, goes into, you know, your backline, obviously McCree would just like flashbang or just like double shot her. Whenever she's fading out, it's pretty simple to just, you know, activate, you know, flashbang, make it so they can't play. Again, these are the heroes I just feel like don't have too much of an impact on her. But if you guys have any, you know, thoughts on these, feel free to go ahead and disagree. I would love to know also why, because sometimes I think of things after you guys mention them. As far as like heroes seeing less play after this, I feel like simply because there are a lot of Lucio mains that are just gods with Lucio. There's a lot of like high-ranked Zenyatas. I feel like Ana has just kind of fallen off. I know that Ana was really popular when she first came out, but she's just seeing like less and less play. And on top of it being like a new healer, I feel like Ana, even though she's getting a small buff, it is a very minor buff. I mean, it still helps out definitely versus certain heroes. Because you're able to 3-shot them instead of, you know, right now it only does 60, but it's going to be upgraded to 70 damage. So the reason why I put Ana here is because it's a new healer. Obviously, people are going to still be on the Mercy train. I think Mercy will still be very popular because that ability to just get back another hero is really, really strong in the game. Even though you move slow after and that kind of stuff, I still think she's just too important as a role, and most people would agree, I think, at a higher rank. But again, you guys can let me know how you feel about that. But as far as Ana goes, the reason why I feel like Ana will see less play is because not only is it a new healer that I would say is more of a secondary healer, like theoretically we can put Lucio and Zen down here as well, because I feel like Mercy is in her own tier category, but I feel like that there are a lot of players that actually like main Lucio and Zenyatta that are relatively high ranks, so I still think they'll kind of stick with it. But I just feel like it's awkward to have, let's say, like a Zen and just her as healing, but who knows, maybe that will be the thing. Again, these are my early impressions on that. But I also want to look at Ana and think of it this way. With Ana, when you're nanoing, you're getting one target, and you're hoping that that one target is going to be able to deal a bunch of damage or whatever. Whereas with Moira, you are kind of more secure, just in case, let's say, for example, you boost up like a soldier or something, and you know, he gets, you know, hooked or flashbanged or something. There's a lot of interaction with certain heroes that bad things can happen, whether they get stunned, trapped, rooted, whatever the case may be. You can lose out a lot of value with Ana because it's only one target. Whereas with the new hero, oh, also I wanted to mention, oh, important thing before I forget, I feel like Doomfist would work well also because he can be very aggressive with the healing orb. Obviously doing some small damage would help him out. But anyways, going back to my point with Ana, because Ana relies off of that one target kind of being successful in that ultimate, whereas Moira, she's able to heal multiple targets and deal damage to multiple targets. So I feel like it's a more safe ultimate, especially since it can be activated very far away. Not that Ana's can't. Just sometimes the problem that you have with Ana, I'm sure a lot of you guys ran into this problem, is that when you're trying to ult someone, unless it's like Genji and Genji is dashing up and you're ulting him, like that's a pretty simple thing to do. Sometimes you just ult the wrong target, like a Tracer walks in front, takes the ultimate, and even a high level play, unfortunate things do happen with that. It's just a more safe way to play because again, with Ana you have one target and you're relying on that one target to do not only do damage but take less damage. With the like, you know, the beam that she's shooting out, it's going to be able to heal the target, so you're hitting multiple things, and if you just want to heal one target, obviously you just put it on that one target. And in addition to that, you're also damaging things. I just think it gives better value. But those are my personal thoughts on it. You guys can let me know what your thoughts on Moira are. Do you guys think that she's going to be OP? Do you think she's going to be good? Or do you think she's just, like, not going to see very much play? Personally, for me, I feel like it's too early for me to decide. I want to get my hands on her. I want to know, like, a few extra things. A few things that I have found out, though, is that Genji, again, can reflect this. It could be eaten up by D.Va. But I want to know how many times it can actually bounce. And, you know, how many times can it bounce? Is it after 5 bounces it goes away? Or is it after a certain distance that it travels, the biotic orb goes away? If anyone knows that, if you can let me know, that would be awesome, because I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm watching so many gameplays. I also haven't found out if she's able to heal herself with that biotic orb that she throws out. Because I've been watching a lot of gameplay, and majority of times what happens is they're throwing the orb and then just kind of like walk away from it because you're trying to like reposition or whatever the case may be. And again, a fade is not actually a teleport, it's more of a dash, and you cannot look upwards and go up. I wish you could. I wish Tracer could do that too. But yeah, that is the new hero. Those are my thoughts on her and what heroes I personally think that work well and see less play, more play, all that stuff, because I know that might be a question that you guys might have. But anyways, that's my thoughts on her. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below, comment section below. But I'm really excited to see when this new hero is going to be available for us on the PTR. I want to say it's probably like next Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing the new hero. Again, let me know your thoughts down below. But thanks for watching, and I am signing out.